Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in the US and Canada. And hello to anybody who's catching on replay. I'm just checking all of the technology, make sure it's working as it should. Yeah, my computer that I'm monitoring stuff seems to be quite laggy. Hi Karen, thanks for joining me today. Let me see if I can get it to catch up here and not freeze. Hello Roseanne, nice to see you. Yeah, let me get started and see what my computer does, and I'll stop and adjust things if I need to. Whoops, we'll put that back on at the end. Okay, so today I wanted to play with the set that I got late last week called Celebrate Sunflowers. It's part of the Flowers for Every Season Flowers for Every Season bundle, but it's a double bundle suite, that's what I'm trying to say, and it's got that jar, punch, and coordinating set. But today I'm just going to play with Celebrate Sunflowers and their coordinating dies. And yeah, I had a little bit of a play last night, and I made one sunflower and I cut it out with the dot. Well, I used sponge daubers to add color, and I cut out one, and then I decided to try hand cutting out a second one and layering it. And I'm still thinking about what I actually like about that or don't. I'm not sure. I'm thinking I should have cut it a little bit differently there. So I'm setting that aside to think about some more, but I'm going to use the set a little bit differently today. I've got first layer of Whisperite cardstock, and my stamp, and I wanted to show you on this stamp, one of the tricks that I learned quite a while ago was, before I took it out of the backing here, I took a permanent marker and I made a tick mark at one of the petals, so I can very easily line it up to get it back in. But it also helps me because I then also took the die and figured out, really, I did, where it goes. There we go, there's the tick mark on there. So again, I can pretty easily and quickly line up the die with where it goes once I've stamped it. It actually goes that way. So I find those helpful when I'm working on things with something that, you know, has kind of infinite jagged edges and could go any which way. So that's a tip for you today with this. So I am going to stamp this up, I think in Bumblebee, which is one of the new in colors. Hello Gladys, hello Karen, hi Lynn. And I see Ron is watching. Nice to see you, Ron. So, and this does really have a direction. You know, sunflowers kind of look up, and this does actually have the direction to look up. So I'm just double checking that real fast. I'm gonna put one down here, and I think I'm gonna go off the page a bit. image up here. Yep. And I'm just going to clean that off because otherwise I know I'm going to drop it somewhere and get ink everywhere. And then the other thing I did this morning before I came on with you guys is I stamped it on some masking paper, or you could use big Post-its. And I think I'm going to mask these and add some leaves and one of these little sunflowers. So now I just have to get it off the backing paper from the mask. And I stamped this in, you know, just some contrasting color so it'd be easy to see when I had the mask on. And I cut it out with the die, but you want it to be cut small. In other words, where all these thick edge of the petal lines are, I cut. I want to see if you can see that. I cut inside those lines. So the cutting with the die really helped to get it started, and then I just had to snip off the little bits. But this is what I said about having to line up. There we go. That's better, maybe. Nope. There we go. So you want to be able to see, you see how I can see a bunch of the yellow lines? That's not lined up right. So this is like Post-it note adhesive on the back here. You can see I've got a rip there. So this just takes a minute of setting your mouth the right way, as my mother-in-law would say. But you want to be able to see the outline of the image you stamped on your paper. And that is so that even just that little thickness of the masking paper is enough to create a little lip where the ink from whatever you're stamping over it isn't going to reach the cardstock. And it'll create this white shadow. It's actually a void, but it's going to be like a shadow. And you don't want that to be like a halo around your stamped image. You want it to be where your stamped image is, that void. So you expose that so that it's not, so that it becomes the void and not the white around your image, really. Sorry, that was a little incoherent, but hopefully you either already know what I'm talking about because you've done this before, or you're about to see. And that is so off. Okay, there's those three. Those line up. And I will go back and I will make a tick mark on this as well so that I have better luck lining it up quickly. Okay, so I have that and I have some leaves. So I'm going to add those with the mask on. Grabbing my old olive marker as well for this one that's going to be a couple different colors. So I'm going to try to ink up clean off my leaves a little bit there. And I'm going to add color with my marker on the leaves. Now be sure when you're doing this, you are not doing it with the blends, alcohol markers, because that will stain, that will color and stain your rubber for good. You want to be sure you're using the Stampin' Write markers. And we're going to add that in like so. And put that away. We'll add some more leaves here. Really, I should be masking that too, but we're just going to avoid it by going like so. Like that. Add a couple in there. Okay, so now what happens, because we have masked it, even though we've stamped on top, when I take the masks off, everything that I stamped on top will look like it's behind these sunflowers. No ripping mask. One of the nice things is if your mask comes off in one piece, which it should, almost, you can reuse these. And I just stick them on the inside of the cover of my stamp case. That one lost a petal, but we may still just save it because we may be masking the other side sometime. There. So, do you see how that looks like the leaves and the other sunflower are tucked back behind this one? And we don't have a shadow, a white halo around anything because I cut that mask inside the lines, the outline. So yes, that paper is sticky. It's a paper made by another crafting company. And to make it less sticky, what I usually do is I press it up against my jeans leg, pick up a little bit of lint there. But I didn't this time. So now I have to figure out if I want to do any coloring or whether I want to keep it like that. So I'm just thinking that through here. What do you guys think? I could keep it like that and just yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And then I'll do another one where I do some coloring. How's that? So I'm gonna trim this down just a bit to give it room for 2 layers. So I'm gonna put it there at 13.9, right? Yes. this. By 14.4. Okay. Now, I do want to think about whether I want to put a sentiment on there. I think I'm going to do it on a separate strip. I'm going to go ahead and mount that up. Hello, Paula. Nice to see you. Let's pop that one up just for fun. So I'm going to wait a second and see how this develops here. Got some scrap. Because this is new, I'm not sure how big it actually is. Decisions on what I'm doing. Here we go. Hi, Marcy, how are you? Slide in, there we go. So I've slid that in and it's a nice tight fit, but I just want to double check here on the back and make sure it's as centered as can be. I get a nice clean punch. Yep. Let's see how we're doing here. So works out. Slide that one in. Sorry, I'm just figuring out how I want it. This one is not, some weeks I come in with it all pre-planned and it's beautiful, and some days I make it up as I go. Oh, and that did not trim straight. Atoll. Yeah, I'm not 100% happy with that. It should be. Closer on the other side too. Let me try one more time. You're being very patient with me today. Thank you. Hi, Renata. Yeah. Okay. I'm happier with that now. Okay. So now we're going to adhere that on. I think that's going to go there. Yep. Put a couple dimensionals on. Love my dimensionals. Pop stuff up. Let's see how we go here. Having popped that up, I think I am going to adhere this flat. And let's see what else we can add to that. possibility. Okay, where'd they go? I also have some old olive ones and some clear ones. I'm being very indecisive this morning, everyone. I'm sorry. Where it is. What do you think? Anyone want to chime in? Bling. I know some people think there always needs to be bling. Some people think there should never be bling. Ribbons, likewise. Don't like that bow. We'll try again. Anybody? Bit of bling over the bow. Yeah, I think I might be with you there, Paula. Yeah, that always happens. Somebody says one thing and somebody says the other thing. Just being bow troubled here. Let's see. I want it to be really small, I think, if I do the bow. I'm actually kind of liking that. Both bling and ribbon. Okay. Well, let's just go for it, right? Okay, so let me grab a glue dot. Glue dots are wonderful for bows. And a bit of bling, huh? There we go. Okay, so there's one and done. Goodness. That took more effort in my head than I thought it was going to. Hi, Kayla. Okay, set that one aside for now. Grab another piece of Whisper White. Okay, so we're going to stamp again. And I'm bringing this one back in with a bumblebee. And again, making sure it is facing up. This is going to look very similar to what I just did. Do that one. It's gonna look really similar to what I just did. That one. Bring my masks back in, I think. Oh my goodness. You would think they would just lie right down when you get them in place, but apparently not. There you go. One. Where's the three? That seems to be the easiest way to line up, is a set of three right here. Really, the easiest way. Okay, and there's that petal that ripped off, but I do have it here. So we'll just add it separately. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to add in this time? I think some leaves, and we'll call it quits. One. Nope, I think we're going to stop there. I'm not sure why. We just are. Okay. Now we'll pull the masks again. And again, I do like how it just magically makes those leaves go back behind the flowers. I'm easily amused, I guess. Okay, this time I'm going to bring in some of my blend markers to just quickly color in some of these, or actually all of them, and because the ink that I stamped is water-based, and the markers are alcohol-based. They don't interact, and so the stamping won't smear. And so I stamped in Old Olive, and this is an Old Olive Light Stampin' Blend. They're sold in a combination pack of a light and a dark. And by just using the light, the rubber stamp ink is darker, so I don't really even need to add any shading on the leaves, because I get two tones. And unlike with watercolor markers, you know how you get those streaks when you go back over where you've just been? You don't get that with these, and that's one of the things I love about them. Okay, there's some leaves. If I wanted to, I could go back and play with the dark one and shade in some more and stuff, but I'm not doing that right now. This is my bronze color one, and I'm gonna color in the center of the flowers with this one. Maybe. Sorry, I'm concentrating on this and I'm not chatting. Hi, Jennifer. You guys chat and talk to me about stuff that's happening. I know there's a big fire near where Roseanne and Karen are in the Phoenix area, just to the east there, in the Tonto National Forest. That's so sad. I'm hoping they get that under control soon. I saw that it wasn't under control yet. That made me sad. Okay, we need to come in and fix that up a little bit somehow. We'll leave that for now. And then I'm gonna start here. This is So Saffron Light. I'm just gonna add a little bit of color all over the petals here and build. Yeah, I saw that they'd closed down State Route 87 from what, Bush Highway, just north of Fountain Hills, all the way up, and people had to detour through Globe. That is a heck of a detour. I mean, I know there aren't a lot of roads out there, but man. One of my cousins went from Mesa up to just north of Pine Strawberry, and they actually went up I-17 and across at Camp Verde, and she said that was a mess. But Ooh, I'm liking that so far. So, those of you in the States, have you been enjoying summer activities as much as you can with the state of the world right now? Oh my goodness. I just keep watching you guys and your numbers are growing and growing with the COVID. And ours, we've had a little bit of growth this week, or a resurgence, but it was kind of expected as things have opened up a little bit more. We're going slowly and cautiously on opening up, and they're finding just like little outbreaks, like all the schools are open as of this week, and they're finding, little clusters of infected families and they're shutting down schools to clean them. And okay, so that's looking pretty good, but I'm gonna get daring here. That's light daffodil delight. Where's the dark? That I think is it. Dark, so saffron. Okay, so we're gonna build up a little more color here. See how we go. And I am doing this kind of randomly because I'm going to still build up some more layers of color. I just want to get some in here. I don't know how much detail you guys can see. It's a little bit blurry on my monitor, but okay, now we're going to move to some light Daffodil Delight. This is a slightly darker shade. This is dark Daffodil Delight. Let's see. At some point I'm going to go, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But for right now, I'm good, I think. Let's try to keep it the direction of the petals, have we? Yeah, we're still staying home pretty well. I went to the dentist this week just for my 6-month clean. Okay, so now that's looking a little, what do I want to say, blocky. I'm going to go back to my light So Saffron and use that as a blender, I think. Try to blend in some of those layers of color. that helped. So this moves up to Mango Melody, and this is a more orangey yellow. The light isn't so much orange. That one's more orange. I'm gonna see about adding a little bit, I think, on here. Yeah, one could spend a lot of time on this, or not. But I figure I'm having fun, and as long as you guys are sticking with me, I'll just kind of feather it out into the petals a little bit here. And again, I'm going to come back in with that light So Saffron where I feathered it in, and I'm just going to feather it out a little bit more into the Yep, I'm happy with that. I don't know how much you guys can see. I'm going to try to bring it up here so you can see it a bit more. But, oh, well, that would help, wouldn't it? So I've got this 20 to 30 second delay on my screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits on the coloring there and figure out now for the sentiment. Don't know if this one will fit from the set. This says, congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. And if you excuse me 1 second, I'm going to find a different sentiment. I know, not very inventive. But that's how I'm feeling it today. I'm gonna do that in Early Espresso, I think. And I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig just to help me get it straight. I'm trying to figure out if it should go there. I think there. So let's get this straight. That straight. There we go. See, I had a little bit planned out. I do have Early Espresso card base all ready to go. Ugh, that is not cut evenly at all. Sorry, I'm just figuring out where the trouble is here. And it's there. What do you think? Should we layer it? Or just keep it simple like that? I think I'm going to keep it simple like that. Yep, I'm just going to keep it simple. And I'm wondering about embellishments, but I'm thinking maybe not on this one. Unless you think it needs a bit of bling. I hope you're seeing it less blurry than I am. I know when the replay video will be quite clear. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I like this one very, very simple. Puts the focus on all the shading I did on the sunflowers. So, okay, well, I think that is it for today. 2 cards, similar, different. One very stepped up, or at least somewhat stepped up, with raised matted sentiment bow and rhinestones, and this one very simple but with layers of color on it. So thanks for joining me. If you are in Australia and you are looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm happy to be of service. I will get catalogs right out to you. I have an in-color club that has just started and has space in it, so you would get the whole range of each color, including Bumblebee, which is one of our new in-colors that I used today, ribbon and cardstock and designer series paper and markers and ink and the whole shebang. Different color each month between June and October. I'm happy to give you more details on that. Just drop me a message and I will help you with that. If you are shopping for Stampin' Up! In Australia, there's my store and my June host code. If you place an order for under $250, I will send you a gift when you use the host code. Yeah, other than that, that's it. Oh, hi Barbara, just when I'm signing off. I will talk to you all same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.